My name is Anastasia Kim, and I am an ethnic Korean. I have been living in Ukraine almost all my life with my family. My family and I live in central part of Ukraine. It's a small town named 졸로토나샤. Since the beginning of the war, we never been separated from our family. We live in or more or less a safety place. We haven't any fighting here in our area. Also, it is very difficult to say certainly that in Ukraine we have a safe place, because we never know that Russian missile drone or strike will strike next. Our children and we more fortunate than others peoples, but this doesn't mean that we don't have fear. We all live in fear for our lives, and we live in fear for our country. From the beginning of the war, Russia has been firing at residential buildings and critical infrastructure. When the war started, I was in my last month of pregnancy. February 24 for us, it was a normal morning like others. My eldest son was going to school. I went to online and saw these terrible words. The war has started. Russia attacked Ukraine. It was horrible for us. Nobody knew what to do at that moment. We waited for the government would say. We began to pack an alarming suitcase, collect water supplies, and then for the first time we had the sound of air raid alarm. We all understand that I couldn't run or go far in another area. We set up a small shelter and went down every time. For me, it was very difficult to go up and down all day, all night, and sit in a cold basement when I was pregnancy and with my eldest son. The baby was born quickly and healthy, but as for me, I lost a lot of my blood. And then at 5 o'clock, when when air raid alarm sounds, we need to go to the basement. It was very hard for me because the basement, we need to go down from the third floor. I could barely walk, and in the basement, I almost fainted. But I remember that I had been strong in that moment for my children. My children wait me, and it was a voice in my head. They need mom. I told for myself, they need mom. Be strong now, please. Be strong. And in the maternity hospital, mothers with our newborn child, babies, sat for hours. It was cold. It was no sterile conditions for small babies, and we just prayed to God. We live in Central Korea, and the most of population of Korea lived in the south of Ukraine. These cities like Mykolaiv, Dnipro, Lugansk, Kherson, Zaporizhia. The number of the affected Korean families, I don't know, is unknown. But since most Koreans live in the south of Ukraine, it's likely there are a lot of them. I think, and I'm sure that they also who is in occupied territory now. According to the information I know, Koreans are also defending in the Ukrainian army, and there are now, as I know, 3 Koreans listed as missing. Not long ago, the military man Maxim Degay dead. He couldn't recover from his wounds. No one knows for sure the real number of victims of this war. The war is not over yet. It's very important that it's not over. And today we are talking with you, but tomorrow we may be among of those who have suffered to one degree or another. It's horrible. As far as I know, more than 2,000 of ethnic Koreans have left from Ukraine to Korea. Now live in Korea for not a long time. They moved to Korea with his family in 2018 because my sister's husband had work in Korea. He's very hardworking and his employees appreciated him. Their small children attend kindergarten and school. They already speak in the native language in Korean very well. And it's very important for children to know their native language because, for example, I don't know Korean and I shame for it. No matter how life through us in the world, every person is, I think, every person is drawn to his origins. And as our situation show how it's important, Korea is the country for greater opportunities, and Korea for Koreans, it's our home, which we never seen, but we know and remember about it from our grandparents. In other words, Korea is a dream given to us by our grands. It's their dream of returning of home, I think. We are not born in Korea, Koreans, but our mothers always told us proudly that you are Korean, and wherever you are Korean, and it's right. You need to be proud who you are. Now Ukraine shows to all over the world how it's important.